Hejsan svejsan allihopa everybody, and welcome to this Minecraft build tutorial. My name is martinsmartin, and today we're going to build this magnificent cyberpunk apartment house here behind me. Now, we are going to need a lot of materials for this one, so here's a list of all the materials you need if you want to build it block by block like I did. Feel free to pause the video and take some screenshots of the materials, and when you're ready, let's get building. So I found this pretty little hillside here in the jungle, which I thought would be perfect for this kind of build. And I have gone ahead and I've marked out this area here. And as you can see, this area is basically a 39 by 25 block rectangle, and it's also 26 blocks high. And then it has these little cutouts here. So what you want to do first is you want to build up the walls here with bone blocks all the way around. Bone blocks all the way up to the 26th layer. And if you got exactly the amount of bone blocks that I used in the material list, then you're gonna run short. So grab a couple of extra stacks, because we're gonna start by just doing the bone blocks and we're gonna do the detailings after that. So I'm just gonna hammer away here, and you can all just follow along, and we'll see you when we have our structure completed. Okay, and now it should look a little something like this. And this is not good enough, okay? So we're gonna texture the corners here a bit, but first I want to put in the floors, because when we put in the floors in these buildings, we can then decide where to cut out pathways and doors and windows and such. So if you come inside of one of the rectangles here, you grab your bone blocks or any other building block that you can dispose of later, and you count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna place a smithing table. And the smithing tables are what we are going to use as floors in this building. So crouch as you place them. If you don't crouch, it's gonna look like this, and we don't want that. And if you're building this in survival, then make sure that you also light up each floor with some torches or other light blocks. Otherwise, you are going to get so many mobs in here, you will most likely blow up the building before it's done. And then when you did the first floor here, you are going to take your temporary blocks and you are going to stack up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna place another one. And then we're gonna repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another table. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and another table. And then the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we do stone. And that's gonna be the roof of the building. So let's get back into building. Let's put the floors in, and you don't need to keep the pillars that we did in between the floors. And now when you have all of these blocks placed, what you want to do is, actually you may have found out that the smithing tables weren't enough from the material list, and I'm sorry for that, but if you go to one of the corners and you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you want to take out a row here. So you should have 11 on each side. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. This is going to be the 2 apartments on each side. So go down each layer and just replace these blocks here with bone block walls. And then take these bone block walls all the way up to the roof line as well. And when you have something looking like this, you'll just go straight ahead across to the other side and repeat the same process here. Perfect. You now should have something that looks a little bit like this. So the last thing we want to do before we start cutting out the windows and doing the details and everything is to put in the stone roof. It really helps if you have Swift Sneak doing this. If you don't, then just crouch like this and start placing blocks until you fill in this entire space here with stone. After that, you will have a house that looks something like this. Not very fun. We are now going to place in the balconies here for the different apartments. So if you come down to one of the floors here, and we go 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on here, we are going to place upside down stairs. So let's come out one more like that, place an upside down stair like that, and then you can remove all of the blocks here if you want to. And we're gonna take this all the way around, but also we're gonna do this on all of the floors that we did inside of the house. So for the next couple of floors after this, it's going to be 4 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna do the stair, that, and then we go another 1, 2, 3, 4, and the stair, and we do a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a stair, and that's going to be our top floor. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to take this, and we're gonna fill it out all the way into here, and we're gonna come 3 out. So what we are using after this is we are using some slabs like this, and we're gonna texture these with the smooth stone slabs as well. We're gonna make this look nice. First things first, just place the stairs like this all the way around. And then when we come into the wall of the house, we're also going to make a little turn with the stairs like that, and then fill this in with different blocks, texturing this a little bit. This will make it easier for the eye to actually look at the path and not get bored and find it interesting all the while. And then continue with this for all of the floors above. And when you're done, you should have balconies looking like this. First one a little bit higher off the floor than the rest of the floors. Now, we gotta open up the doors into here so we can actually walk around. So let's knock out a 3x3 here, plus also take these blocks out. Let's do that for all of the floors now. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to put the floors in here. So we are going to use smooth stone, polished andesite, and andesite. And we're just going to continue this pattern basically all around here. So let's just vary this up a bit, making it look a little bit more interesting for the eyes. And we are going to, oops, that's maybe a bit bad. And then we're doing this to fill out the entire floor, all of the floors. One thing that I want you to do is I want you to leave this hole here. So if you come and look at the balconies like this, on the right side, you go all the way into the back wall, and not the corner block, but the one next to the corner block. Leave that empty on all of the floors, and I will show you what we're gonna do with that next. So let's start filling out the floors. Great work, guys. We now have 4 floors to walk on. And as you can see, I filled this in with regular stone here. And this is because we are going to knock this out again. This is where the staircase is going to go. So if you want to know where to knock the hole out, you go to each floor like this. You go to the left side. And then from the corner block here, you count 1, 2, 3, and then you knock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out and 2 deep. So we go down again, we count from the corner, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get rid of these on all of the floors. Excellent, now we can see all the way up. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to look at this, the first block here that is free. And you go all the way down, and we're gonna count to 6. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is where we're going to start this staircase. So let's just build a little staircase like this, and I like to alternate the stairs a little bit. I'm gonna show you. So let's just do maybe do 2, and then we'll do another one like that. And look how this is going to nicely align with the floor above. And then we just do one more next to it. Perfect. For the rest of the floors though, we are only going to count to 5. And if you want to really make this easy for you, you start from the top. So maybe place one there. And then we get a regular one. We place it here. We take another regular one like that. We take a polished one, and then we take a regular one. See, like that. That will connect perfectly. So let's do this for all of the floors now. And here, when we come to the top floor, we also need to knock out a little bit of the ceiling so that we can get up onto the roof of the house. And once we are done with all the stairs, we are also going to make some windows here. So go over to all of these middle sections. You go one in and you take it out like this, opening up a big, nice window to look out from. So let's do that for all of the floors. And as you make your way down to the bottom floor, we are not going to do the same there. In fact, here we're going to create some doorways. So from the front of the building, count 1, 2, and then bam, 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 bam. So 3 wide, 4 high. And we're gonna do this on both of the sides here. So count 2 in, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and across. Take it out like that. We should now have something that looks a little bit like this. It's a skeleton of a building, but it's going to be very nice when we're done. It's almost time to start texturing this. Okay, for the texturing of this building, I want to create the feeling that there has been water running through the years from the roof and down along the walls. So what we are going to do now is we are simply going to knock a couple of blocks out here, and we're gonna go pretty deep with it. So what you could do now is you could either copy me and just do exactly what I do here, but then you're gonna have to count the blocks yourselves, or you just try this and see if you can come up with a texture that you like yourself for your build. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going very long, like far down, but not very wide, like maybe 3-4 blocks wide. And then I always use in the middle, the darkest color is gonna be stripped oak. And then it's going to be some stripped birch. And then outside of that is smooth sandstone. And that creates this like almost moldy effect. So try it yourself, see what you can come up with. Or, as I said, just follow along here and copy this. Alright, and now we have something looking like this. What I forgot to tell you is that I also textured a little bit over here with diorite, polished diorite, and some calcite. And most of this is now going to make sense because we're going to stuff things on top of here, making it look like we had electrical equipment attached to the house, and then water ran underneath it, causing this grime to appear. But before we do that, I think it's time that we actually put in all of the windows in this house. And this is going to be quite easy, so we can copy one side to the other, basically. So if we go to the front here, and you count from the edge, you count 2 in, like this. So 1, 2, and then here, and 1, 2 down. So there. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then bam, 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 bam. We're going to make a 2x3 window. And then from the other side, we're going to do the exact same window here. And then you want to count 3 down. So there's going to be 3 full blocks. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to knock out another window like that. And we go to the other side and we knock out the same window. And we do this for all of the floors that we put into the house. Now we have all of the windows on that side. Let's do the left side as well while we're at it. Excellent. Now let's move on to the next side of the house where we are going to put in more windows. So let's count from the top. We count 2 blocks down, and then on the third we're going to work. But also from the side we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks in. So 7 in and 3 down, and bam bam. That's it. And then you go another 3 blocks down. 1, 2, 3, and bam bam. And 1, 2, 3, and bam bam. And 1, 2, 3, and bam bam. That's it. Now we're gonna do that one more time next to it, like that, like that, like that, and like that. Perfect. And then from the other side, go to the edge and count 5 blocks in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're gonna knock out the same here, but we're gonna do these 2 wide. So we go down 3 blocks and we do 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All the way. And then on the other side here as well, from that window we go 2 over, and then 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and a 2 by 2. And these windows can also carry over to the other side of the house. So let's go over there. And again, from the front of the building, go 3 blocks down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks in, and then do 2 blocks. Now let's go around to the back of the house, and we are going to start from the back right side of the house. We are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in and 2 down, and we knock out these here. We go 3 down and we do the same again. 3 down and we do the same again, and 3 down and do the same again. Then we're gonna go 2 blocks over and do the same on the way up. And then go to the very far end of the house, and we're going to repeat this here. So we go from the top left side of the back side. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4 in and 2 down, and then we do this. And then 2 over, and we do it all the way up as well. Now from the last window we placed, we are going to count towards the middle of the house. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then on the 8th block, we're gonna do a window. And we go 3 down and we do a window, 3 down, 3 down, like that. And from this window, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks over, and we do another window. All the way up. Now, let's also visit the front of the house. For each floor here, we are going to knock out 3 blocks here, 2 blocks here. And then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 over and do another window like this. And then another door like that, and a big window like that. So now you will have something looking like this. And we can copy this for all of the floors and both of the sides. So if you want to go over to the other side of the apartment, you look over, you see that we go, here's the doorway, we go 1 out and 1, 2, 3, like that. We go over, 1, 2, like that. And then it's 3 blocks in between. And then we do a high window like that. Perfect. 1 over and 1, 2, 3, 1 over, 2 over, 2 over, and 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Now this is going to be repeated all the way down, except for the bottom floor. Excellent. Now we have all of the windows placed in throughout the building. And what we're gonna do now is we are going to plop in the actual window panes. And we are going to use gray stained glass pane and light gray stained glass pane. And what I usually do is I just mix them up a little bit like this in all of the windows to give a nice little variation and detail. Again, making the eye, giving the eye something to rest on. So let's do this for the entire building around, except for these 3 tall here, which are going to be doorways. And also we're going to do it for these windows here. All right, this is starting to look like something now. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to add a little bit more of this grime under all of the windows. And again, just as we did before, I am trying to keep the darker blocks in the middle and up towards the top of the grime, and then letting the lighter colors spread out underneath, making it look like it has dried out a little bit more. And this might look very weird up close, and that's fine, because it's supposed to look really good when you're a bit further away, like 50 blocks away or so. Well done, everybody! Now we have a house that looks like this. I would say that this is starting to look good, especially if we zoom out a bit like this. It's going to start to look really nice. We only have 2 more things to do before we are going to start adding all of the details. And the first thing we're gonna do now is we are going to start adding the railings here so that people who live in the apartments won't actually fall off and hurt themselves. And what we're gonna do is we're basically just going to alternate between bamboo and birch trap doors like these all the way, and we want to place them in this direction. I'm gonna show you why real soon, like that. And now we raise them up. And then from the outside here, this is going to be a bit more tricky, so get a random building block, put it like this, and then you want to place trapdoors against it like this. And when you're done, take them away and raise these up as well. Now we have a perfect balcony here. Let's do that for all of the floors. Looking good. I especially like this combination because I think the bamboo and birch goes well with these grimy bits here, tying the house a little bit together. And now for the last part, we are going to come in here. We are going to add the doors to all of the apartments. The first thing we want to do is we want to just plop an upside down stair like that, take the corresponding door and go inside the apartment and place it like this. Now you have a perfect little doorway. So let's do that for all of these apartments, and I want to vary the color a bit so that it looks a bit colorful and funny in this area of the house. There we have it, some colorful doors are now in the house. The final touch we want in this phase is we are going to place a couple of hanging signs like this, and then we can actually hang some lanterns underneath. And we can mix these lanterns up a bit, use like brighter lanterns with these kind of colors and darker lanterns with the darker colors. So let's do these for all of the floors and all of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a detailed house with doors and signs and everything, and I think this is just perfect. So if you enjoy the tutorial so far, then I would highly appreciate it if you would give this video a like and consider subscribing for more tutorials and survival let's plays in the name of martinsmartin. Next up, we are going to turn our attention to the roof of the building. And what we want to do here is we are going to grab a couple of stairs. I have diorite, polished diorite, quartz stairs, smooth quartz stairs, and sandstone stairs. And we're just going to place them down like this in a little bit of a random pattern to make a nice looking roof line. So continue doing this all along the roof like this, and then when we come to when we've done the whole lap around like this, we go back, we crouch, and then we do the outside. And what's important here is that we don't want to make the outside look exactly like the inside, because that is going to look very bad when you do it for the whole ceiling or roof. Just keep on pulling away like this, getting it a little bit nice and mixed. Alright, that's looking very good. Now we are going to continue with the roof here. So we're gonna make some signs. So start by placing a couple of basalt pillars like this, and then we are going to use colorful wood. I chose cherry wood on this side. You are going to come 2 out on each side of the pillar, and then go another 2 up, and then go across again. And then we're gonna fill the back with redstone lamps like this. And on the inside, we are also going to put down note blocks with pressure plates on top of them. Now cover the whole thing up so that we have a nice little row behind the redstone lamps. Once you've done this, knock a hole in the wood and throw down eggs until you spawn a chicken in there, and make sure the chicken doesn't escape, because otherwise you have to do it all over again. After you've done this, close it up, and the chicken will now run on the pressure plates and create these flashing little lights. Now go over to the other side of the roof and make another sign just like this one. And for the other sign, I chose acacia wood. And there we go. We now have 2 functioning signs. This is very cool. Next thing we're gonna do is we are going to add some air vents on top of here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab some smooth stone and make an L shape like this. And then place a couple of campfires inside and cover it up with another layer of smooth stone. And then place rails to make circles like this, and this will look a little bit like air vents. And then you can decorate around it using blast furnaces and observers or whatever you like. I also put some lightning rods on top to make it look a little bit more industrial. So here's another one I did on the other side of the roof as well. Very nice. Now, the last thing we want to do on the roof is we are going to place a couple of stairs upside down here. And then we are going to make ourselves a little cage around the roof here, because not everyone should have access to the roof. And what I usually do is I just grab a random block, then I place it like this, so I have something to place my blocks against. And let's make it 2 high. Come to think of it, let's make it 3 high. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my acacia trapdoors, and you see this little handle here. I don't want that at the bottom for everyone. So what we're gonna do is we place the bottom here, like that. And then here we are going to place them like so, which will cause them to look a little bit more thought through in the placement. Let's do this all the way around. And then here, let's place the top ones like this, covering the roof. And then we're also going to have so that the handles are on the front like this. Now, let's take all of the wood out here. And let's actually place these like that. They are on the inside now, but we still get to keep the stairs here. And then grab the acacia doors and just place one on each side like that. Now we have limited access to the roof. And now it's time to turn our attention to the sides of the buildings and the grime that we put in here on going down on the sides. So if we come to this side here, and then we count from the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the 6th block, we take that out. We place a polished deep slate wall underneath and then a hopper running into it. So this is going to look like a gutter. And we're gonna carry this all the way down, but we're going to detail it. So next thing you want to do is grab a blast furnace like that and another blast furnace like that. And then grab another hopper and point it into this blast furnace. Like so. Then on top of the blast furnace we want to place an end rod so we get a little bit of light here. Then under here you want to go 2 blocks down and place a wall, and then on top of that we place an anvil. What you want to do now is you want to grab your blast furnace, and underneath the wall you come 1 down and 1 over. And then here we place another hopper pointing into this blast furnace like that. And then we take the light gray shulker box and we place it on top like that. And that creates a nice little gradient with the light up here and then the gray here, which is almost similar to the hopper. And then what you want to do is you want to take another end rod, place it there, and place an iron bar on top. This is a full module. So now what you want to do is under here, we are going to carry over with another blast furnace, just like up there. We're going to take the hopper, point it into the side here, and we're going to carry this all the way down. And we're going to do the same on this side. And it's going to start, if you count from the back of the building, we're going to do 1, 2, and then on the 3rd here, we're going to start with it. So let's do that and that. And now you know where to start. So let's get this built up real quick. All right, that's looking really good. Now what we want to do is we are going to place some sort of energy units down here. So let's just do some iron blocks in a 3x3 like that. And then you want to grab some frog lights and just knock a couple of these out. In the middle, knock it out and place a blast furnace. And then we're just going to cover this in some trapdoors to make it look real good. And let's mix it up a little bit so we both use regular trapdoors and we can use some jungle trapdoors as well. Get some texture on this. Don't forget to do it on the top and on the sides. That's looking good. Now what you want to do is you want to come down here and we're gonna just put a couple of trash bins down here. So I usually just do 3 and then like that. So 2x3 on a 2 layer. And then we can change it up a bit. So we just knock a couple of these out like that. Make it look a little bit darker. Maybe do that. And then on top we put some blackstone slabs. And that looks like a trash dumpster. So let's do one more right next to it. And then we have some dried kelp blocks. Just put a couple of those around here. It's going to look like trash bags. And to make it even more fun, let's grab, I have some dead bubble coral and dead bubble coral fans. And let's just place those on top. And it will look like the trash bags have been tied up. Now, we're gonna turn our attention to this, and you can see we put our grime a little bit tighter together here. So we're going to do the same thing as we did on the other side of the house, but in the middle here. And now that we have that installed, all we need is the same kind of power unit down here, but we need it bigger. So from the center, go 2 out like that. So we created a 5 wide and go all the way down like that. Perfect. Knock these 2 out and replace with blast furnaces. And then knock a couple extra out to just place in some of the frog lights here. There we go. And now it's time to turn our attention to the front of the house, which is going to be the last parts we're gonna do on this. And the first parts I did was I added 2 more signs to the front of the house, because every good cyberpunk house needs some signs. And the first one was made out of bamboo wood, and then I added some melons for texture and end rods in the center. And then on the other side we made a cyan sign made out of wool and concrete powder and shulker boxes. And after that I started putting in some actual ground around the house, because it can't be all grass, we need an actual ground to walk on. And after that I started adding a couple of vending machines here for that true cyberpunk feeling. This is where you get your snacks and goodies. And then it was time for flower beds, and the flower beds are just because I want to mix in a lot of color in this build. So there's going to go torch flowers, and there's gonna be pitcher pods and all kinds of colorful stuff in there, even some nether wart. And to the side of it we have a little restaurant area where you can eat the snacks from the vending machines. And then going up we added these ropes going diagonal here across the balconies, where we can hang our clothes for drying after we wash them. And luckily in this update we also have all these cool hanging signs that I started hanging here for some extra detail underneath the ropes, together with some lanterns for some extra lighting as well. Alright, so the house is now done, and I hope you are as happy with it as I am. Now the last thing we should do before we finish up here is we can add to these signs. And if you go to Google and you just Google Minecraft sign symbols, you can find these cool little symbols you can just place on your signs like this. And then you grab some dye. For these signs I like light blue dye. And then you also get glow ink sacks and you make it shine like this. And that will actually make the signs so much better. Let's do magenta on this one. Let's make it glow. You can see you can experiment with this on all the signs to have some sort of apartment numbers here. And I think that will look really good when you play around with it. Now the final thing we need to do is, of course, we need to take a look at this in shaders just to see what it could look like. And it looks absolutely magnificent if you ask me. And let's also turn it into nighttime to see what we could have this in our night cyberpunk city. There we go. Look at this. This is looking fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial of a cyberpunk apartment house. If you did, then please consider hitting the subscribe button and liking this video. It would help me out so much. Also, if you build this in your world, please tag me in the video so I can see how you made it work for yourselves. Now, if you want to see me do the interiors of this, then really consider subscribing, because next week I will put out a new video from Channel 64, our SMP, where I will do the interiors for this house in survival as well. Thanks for watching. See you later. This is Martinsmartin. Bye-bye.